Love is forever. 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 Woo! Ooh. Good morning, guys. Yes, it is your girl Tasha coming to you this morning. I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to listen to all of this, especially parents. Listen, some parent out there, this is going to help. Some it's not. But some parent out there, this is going to help. All right. Good morning, Ingrid. Good morning. Girl, listen. That's my best girl. Pray, y'all. Whew. Over 30 years, almost 40 years, right? Girl. Y'all better listen. All right. So, first of all, that song right there, Love is Forever. I don't know if any of you guys have heard this song. I stumbled on the song. I don't even know how to pronounce this man's name. But one thing I know is I don't know what they're saying at the beginning, but the hook fits. I don't know what they're saying right now. Y'all hear this? It's just the beat. Sometimes you just gotta drop in a beat. I don't even know what they're saying. But when they get to the hook, listen. Can y'all hear it? Ooh. You can always claim the victory. Love is forever. 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 Woo. I can't even play with this no more. When I tell you guys, hit share. I don't say it often. I think y'all just need to do it. Hit share, because I guarantee you that there is somebody that this is going to mean, especially a parent. Hit share. Invite, if you know a parent that's going through some things with their child, particularly their adult child, hit share, because this might just shed some light on what they are going through, okay? First of all, I'm started this morning to say happy birthday to Trinity, my mini me. Now, you still got me blocked on everything, although we're talking a little bit more on social media, but you ain't got me blocked on YouTube. So I'm going to send you the YouTube link because this thing is on YouTube right now as well. Okay. Happy 23rd birthday to you, mini me. I love you. I'm proud of you. I love you and I'm proud of you. Love is forever. Okay. So listen, guys, you all remember last summer after Trinity coming home from school for the first time, in my opinion, well, I would say, I think she probably would agree with me. For the first time, we actually went through a period of hurt and pain because we just couldn't get it right. I had my vision. She had, y'all drop your comments, drop your comments. I had my vision. Gary says, happy birthday, Trinity. I had my visions. We love you, baby girl. Happy birthday. Yes, y'all, this is different. Bam, always being authentic with me. Drop your comments while you're on here to say happy birthday to my baby. Y'all put up them posts and pictures and y'all put happy birthday. While you're on here, drop your comments to say happy birthday, okay? All right. We, my son and I, have always had different issues, and God is in the midst of both of them, all of us, okay? God is in the midst of all of us. Good morning, Lauren. Um, but for Trinity, overall, we didn't have many times of bumping heads. All right, because of the certain love that she had for me and the certain love that I had for her. But this morning, I've learned that it's all about the certain love that God has for us. Okay. Many people related to me, hey Tab, and said that, you know what, I got adult children and I'm having problems. Oh, I wish I would have text. Oh, let me text this one more person who I'm going. I don't know if this is going to apply to her, but so many of y'all reached out to me after I was walking that day and I was just in tears, torn up, messed up, no good. Um, Feeling as a parent that I had to do what I did. That live was called Tough Love Isn't Just Hard on a Child or something like that. I don't remember the name, but it's something along that line. Okay. Tough love, right? I felt that I was doing what I needed to do as a parent. And I'm still not taking back that at that moment, that feeling was right. Um, but this time, hey Sarah, how you doing, girl? At this time, it was like the pain, what we had went through, what I did, which I knew I felt I needed to do to put my foot down because I didn't understand where she was coming from. She didn't understand where I was coming from. So she was doing what she felt she needed to do to put her foot down, and it just bumped heads. And in the process, I was like, God, why are you taking me and my baby girl through this pain? Through this pain. Why now? I mean, she done gone away to school, came home from college, graduated cum laude. She's back home, thought about staying in Oklahoma for 6 months. And then and had told mommy she wasn't coming home for 6 months. And then at the last minute, called and crying and saying, like she was getting ready to go on this journey, and I guess it was scary for her. And mommy, I don't know if I want to be here for these 6 months. And I said, baby, you can always come home. And then she comes home and all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose, right? And at that time I was saying, It was different. There was a period when I was exiting my marriage that I would say to God, why are you taking me through this? Why aren't you fixing it? From that painful portion of my life, I didn't come that way. Like I got mad at God then. Got mad, didn't go to church for years or whatever. I didn't come that way because what I had learned through that trial, when it came to this pain that felt more painful than I experienced exiting my marriage with my daughter, right? So I didn't go to the point that I said, ah, I'm mad at God, or why are you doing this? Why are you taking me through this? I didn't go that way with this, but it still hurt. It hurt like hell. And I still wasn't understanding. I just didn't come out and blame him for what was happening. And I kept trying to reach out, kept trying to stay connected. It seemed like the more that I tried to reach out, the more that I tried to stay connected, the further she went away. And I had to get in a point because my man was talking to me, and I had to get in a point where he um was like, and also my best girlfriend, they're right there, Ingrid. Both of them was telling me, it's time to like back off now. It's time to stop trying so much. Let whatever happens, right? And one of my what I thought was a good characteristics, which now I'm feeling now is kind of like a bad characteristic, is that I always feel a need to try to make somebody understand. When I feel that you are receiving what I'm saying wrong, my intentions of what I'm doing or my intentions of what I'm saying is causing the wrong impact, that I gotta come at you and I gotta try to grab you and I gotta try to make you understand. No, you're thinking wrong. No, you shouldn't be mad. No, you shouldn't be hurt. What I'm doing is not to hurt you. I do this not only with my babies, um, my baby girl, and it's funny. I don't know why I don't do that with my son, but I know it's going to be rebuild. But I do that with people, right? And it's not necessarily a beautiful, hey, Angie, it's not always a good characteristic. I'm learning. I'm learning. Sometimes we believe, and that's what I'm talking about. Being a good parent should not stop you from being a better parent, because there are good parents out there. And we say there is no handbook. Me and my girl Ingrid was talking about it before. There's no handbook to parenting. We do the best that we can. And I know that I've done the best that I could and knew how to do up until this moment today on my daughter's 23rd birthday. You know, again, when I was hurting and walking down that street because of the unpleasant place, the uncomfortable place that she and I moved into when she came back home as a young adult, I couldn't understand it. But let me tell you what, I'm going to tell you this morning on my daughter's 23rd birthday that God is amazing. God is amazing. And look, I want to make sure I'm not coming off to you guys. I want to relate to you. I ain't I ain't turning into the holy roller. I look at people who are holy rollers as a negative for me, because those are people who act as if they so much better than you. And we ain't got time for people to be acting like they so much better than everyone when it comes to creating new disciples in the kingdom. Okay. All right. New disciples, someone that wants to follow the teachings. Um, this morning I was starting. I was studying. Some of you don't know. Okay, I talked about it when I spoke at the women's of. Hey Angie, yes, yes, he God is in control of God reigns. I talked about it the first time last week when I spoke at the women's empowerment event that was hosted by Tish Lee. Um, uh, why is it slipping my name? The name of it? Pathetic. No, women always win. What is it? I don't know. I ain't got time for that part. But I talked about guys that your girl Tasha has always I have I have a relationship with God always. All of us have a relationship with God. And the thing is that our relationships do not mimic each other and they're not supposed to mimic each other. So therefore nobody's relationship is better than somebody else's relationship with God. Okay. Now the ones that don't believe in God, that's on y'all. Okay. That's on y'all. But it can always change. And in that, I would not um I would not I wasn't studying the Bible because when I read the Bible, it's confusing as hell. Okay. And I had a Bible that my aunt gave me before she passed, but I wasn't using that. Well, one day I'll share the story. See, y'all should have been at the event to hear the story of how I got into doing this. So let's see. If I go back and I look in this book, my first day of deciding I was going to revisit trying to have time with God was on February the 9th this year. It's right here. February the 9th, 2023 is the first time that I decided that I was going to be revisiting trying to have time with God every day, right? Now, in this and all these days up until today on my daughter's 23rd birthday, March 31st, I haven't got every day, but I got a whole lot of days. And some days I've got it twice in a day. Okay. And I even think about that is kind of in his way, in God's way of working. It wasn't it because I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that I do Bible study Monday through Friday, and block out time with God, like I block out time with my business or block out time with other things, right? Now, had I actually, and I was kind of feeling like, sometimes guys, you say this is gonna be all over the place because this emotion up in me, and this is gonna touch people. Share and invite, share and invite. Sometimes we say we're gonna do something, and because we miss a day, like if I said I'm going to do every Monday through Friday and I miss a day, some people will be like, "Oh God, I made this promise to God. I'm just gonna quit." Even like New Year's resolution. I made this promise I was gonna do this, and the moment that you miss it, you quit, right? Because you feel that somehow you failed because of that. But that's not what I did. And often that's not what I did. That's one of the things I believe is great in my authenticity, is that I don't give up quick or hardly ever. It applies even to when you think about me in this business. People don't understand why I'm still here, how I'm still hanging in. I just don't give up because I'm very accountable for what I do. And I know sometimes it's just me, okay, you messed up, get it together, let's start over, right? Quitting keeps you away from the end. Starting over keeps you continuing to move to the end. And when you get to certain endings, they're truly new beginnings and something else. So if you're looking for your new beginning, you can't quit. You got to keep going. Okay. Hey, Lynette, share and invite, girl, share and invite. So, anyway, I started spending time with him. And had I not missed the days that I did miss, then this study today, when I happened on today, this study today, that God answered my feelings about what I was going through with my adult child on her 23rd birthday would not have happened today, which makes it even more special that this revelation of parenting comes to me today as my daughter turns 23. Okay. So even in that, I could have got mad. I could have quit and not continued to do my studies. And I would be, hey, Songbird Sheila King, girl, hey, I would not have got this revelation today about problems with adult children or in parenting or mistakes. And maybe, what you feel may be a mistake when you know you're doing your best and you don't have a guide, right? Y'all, and even in this study, the Bible that my aunt gave me, it has letters that are related to certain chapters. And it's a women's destiny Bible. So what I do now is I I watch a lady who's on YouTube, the Faith Mamas Tribe, and do the Bible study. And if there's a letter in my Bible that goes with the chapter that I'm studying, I read that as well too. Because one of those letters is what got me to start doing this again. Psalm 119 tells you how to study the Bible. We'll talk about that another day. Um, But this morning I read the letter, and for those who don't know, John 11 is the chapter, and that is the chapter where it talks about the death of Lazarus and when God um, brought him back after 4 days. And although he loved Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, when he got the news that Lazarus was sick and going to fall asleep, he chose to stay where he was for 2 or 3 more days. He loved them, but he chose to stay where he was for 2 or 3 more days. He didn't run to them immediately, okay, in his love. He didn't run to them immediately in his love. And Mary and Martha felt that, why, if he would have been here, my brother wouldn't be dead, okay? So anyway, back to the letter. I done jumped ahead of myself. Back to reading the letter today. I was reading the letter. I was like, okay, this is the letter. The lady wrote the letter to say that sometimes we feel dead because of the pain that we're going through. It could be the pain about a job. It could be a pain about an adult child. It could be pain about a marital relationship, a regular relationship. Um, where we are not at yet in our life, whatever, it could be a pain, and that pain could be so bad in our hearts that it actually makes us feel dead. However, we have to remember that he is always there and he can resurrect life, right? So I'm reading that letter. I was like, well, I don't need this letter today because I already don't feel dead because of the pains that I'm going through. I feel confused about the pains that I'm going through, right? So I was like, okay, well, today, no notes on the letter because the letter doesn't apply. Let me go ahead and just get into the study. When I get into the study again, it's about Lazarus and about God and how he stayed the extra 3 days, knowing that Lazarus 2 or 3 days, knowing 4 days, whatever, knowing that Lazarus was on his deathbed and that Mary and Martha was hurt and all this other kind of stuff, right? And what came out from this morning is that God's love is different. How God views love, often we don't understand or view it the same because He basically said that because he loved them, he stayed and didn't come immediately. And in the process of him staying, Lazarus died. And some of you who might be Bible people know that the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all this other kind of stuff um, would see the miracles that were happening, but still didn't believe that he was Christ, right? So, so, or they would be like somehow he faked it. There was some miracles that was in the thing that they felt that he faked it. The blind man, who he had put the clay on his eyes, go to the water, wash his eyes out, right? People say, well, maybe even though he was born blind, he must not have ever been blind. This is like this was a joke, with some kind of hoax. What's that show where you go on a date and they fake you up? What's the word? I don't know. It's fake. You go on this date, you think you've been dating this person online, then they show up and they ain't who they are, right? So they act like it's some of the miracles that he was doing that it was fake. Okay, he made it up. So in this particular case, God delayed him going there because he probably could have went there and stopped Lazarus from dying, right? But the impact wouldn't have been as the same as the impact of him waiting 4 days. I was nowhere near it. I couldn't affect this. I wasn't anywhere there. He is really dead. I didn't pay him some money so that he could fake being dead and go up in the tomb and stay in the tomb for 4 days so I could show y'all a miracle. Okay. That's kind of what he might have been saying, that this is your girl Tasha Bam thinking, okay. Um, but when he went there, even though Martha and Mary loved him, they was hurt and they want to know why. And he said, because I loved you. The pain is there sometimes so that we can feel his glory more. All right. So let me translate this to, as I'm studying this, and what I'm feeling about being a good parent should not stop you from being a bad parent. The Dominique, who is the leader of Faith Mamas, she equate this to when she took her children roller skating and they didn't know how to skate. And she was out there on the floor with them. And every time they was trying to fall, she would grab them. She wouldn't let them fall. And the more she, just stop. Come on, let me get you, whatever. It made the children, I forgot how she described it, what she thought was a concern. So she just like, you know what? Let me just get off the floor. I can't do this. I can't do this. Let me just get off the floor. Her husband tagged out with her. He went on the floor, but as a father, he had a different thing. He let them fall. And she was scrunching on the side. He let them fall. And then all of a sudden, they was laughing. They was having so much fun. And then the falling stopped. The kids started roller skating around, right? Them falling, they could hurt themselves and there could be pain, right? But through the falling and hurting itself, it allowed the children to become confident enough or learn the lesson to actually be able to skate. Hey, Jave. Yes, very powerful. That's why I'm all emotional here this morning. I'm all over the place, but that's all right. I'm over the place, and what he's telling me, I'm doing the actions that he's telling me to do this morning. So whoever think I'm taking too long, so be it. Miss your blessing, because I'm gonna take as long as he told me I need to take. Okay. So when I heard that, I can't explain to y'all the feeling that came up in here. That pain that I've been feeling about my baby girl and how I hurt her and how she hurt me, and we both hurt each other out of what we was looking for as love, went away. It finally went away. Okay. You're speaking what I'm going through. Well, Sheila, let me tell you this. You're a good parent, right? Everything that you've done over the years has been because you love them. But sometimes we have to get in tuned. And I know you're a church going woman. I know you sing in the choir and everything. Sometimes we have to get in tune with God about the pain that we're going through and truly give it to Him so that He can show us and understand that the pain is love. God, and sometimes, is not going to rush to make us feel comfortable. He's not going to rush to make us feel comfortable sometimes. And the reason being is that when we go through the pain and he gives the answer, like today for me, it will draw us closer to him. It will allow us to truly see his glory without our glasses. Okay? Adult parents, some of us, and this is what I did, my mistake. And it's funny because some of y'all know the story. I was like, Ingrid, you know the story. I'm going to say it out here. I mean, Trinity sent me this video about uh, how to know that your adult parent, know that your parents is emotional immature. And she said, everything in here may not apply, it does not apply to you. But if some of it applies to you, then maybe you should consider getting some help. And I was like, what? But one of the things that it talked in here about, to me, they said it in a negative way, but it's a good side. Everything, the cup is half full, the cup is half empty. Is that protecting our children can traumatize them in their adulthood, basically. So Trinity said that the way that I raised her has now made her have some form of adult trauma. And I was offended and I was hurt by that. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Ingrid said, I had to learn to let my girls fail. I look at them now, seeing how they get back up on their own. It's a beautiful thing to see. And that's where I'm going, best friend. BFF, that's where I'm going. Um, my trauma as a child was growing up with a single mother who never really expressed love. That was my trauma. Okay. Now, me and my sister are 10 years apart and we don't have a relationship. And I know one day God's going to reveal that or whatever, but that was my trauma. So, from my trauma, I said, when I get older, I'm going to have a two-parent household. I'm going to have a marriage that's not going to fail. And I'm going to do everything I can to show my children love. Okay. And for me, one thing about a child, our children will tell us that the tangible things or the monetary things is not love. And we as parents, like, okay, well, there's some parents out there that's not putting a roof over their child head, don't care to put a roof over their child head, not in their child's life, don't care if you got holes in your shoes, don't care if you got food on your table, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. So don't talk to me about how that's not part of my love. Because they focus on that as that's the only way that you're telling them that you love them. Now, on our side, again, intent versus impact, right? That's not the way we look. There's something else that we feel here to our children inside that we're showing you love. The monetary is a part of it, but that's not the way we're communicating love, right? So when we do everything for them, in some cases, it's not a good thing because, as my BFF said, we're not allowing them to fall. And see, that's what God does. And God allowing us to sit in pain longer than we feel or we believe we should sit in pain. He's showing us love because it makes us look at ourselves. It makes us step up to the plate and see what do we really got inside. Okay, what do we really got inside of us? Let me see. Okay, I wrote one of my notes in here. Look, guys, it's crazy. Look, I write across, I write down sideways, got a note right here. Sometimes a loving thing to do is to let a person go through so that they can see who they are. Sometimes a loving thing to do is to let a person go through so that they can see who they are. And that's what God does for us. He let us go through because who I saw myself as until this morning is a good parent. But with what he revealed to me this morning, I now know that I can be a better parent. Okay? I saw that I was a good parent. And because that's all that I saw, and there's no playbook, there's no rule book. All I could do is do the best that I can. Well, that wasn't the best that I could. I just didn't know it. The better thing that I could have done was to allow her to fall sometimes so then she could see more of what she has inside of her. So, so what I'm saying to some of you good parents, just because some of the good children, because there's some bad children out there, there's some children that I ain't, what? You crazy what you're saying, right? But you got to really look at to see if you know that you have a good child, you got to look at them to see, can I do something better? Am I somehow in what I believe is my love at that moment hindering them from becoming what they're put here by God to become? Are we somehow stunning their growth in love? Sometimes you got to go through the pain to see who you are, and they have to go through the pain to see who they are in order for you to get better. And for me to appreciate more the glory that God is showing me this morning, to have more of an impact, not just on myself and perhaps on my children, but also on others out there, other parents who are out there going through, hurting, not understanding, feeling that you are a failure simply because you confuse love with fear. See, we do everything so that we could try to stop them from falling because we're fearful. We don't want them to go through what we've been through. We don't want them to make the mistakes that we made as children, right? That's fear. But if we truly just put our children in God's hand, we don't have to fear that we don't got to do everything. We ain't got to be there to catch them on every move. They are supposed to fall. And as they learn and they get their own relationship and you give them the foundation, eventually one day it could turn into their relationship of growing with God. And then the beautiful butterflies come from the caterpillars that we've birthed, that we've raised. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let me go here. Jave said, I get it. I went through it too. Hey, Leroy. Happy birthday to my baby Trinity. Yes, I am going to keep spitting the truth. Okay. And now, because of my studying, there's some other truth that's coming out, and I hope that it relates to some people that otherwise it would not relate to in the way that others may deliver. Javi said, oh God, I just said this the other day. No pain, no growth. She says, right, I talked to two of my siblings and we talked about how my parents' discipline gave them adult trauma. When I saw it as adult, it was a life lesson. Yes, it is so true. So true. Us being parents see their potential, but you're right. They have to see it for themselves. Absolutely. You're trying to protect them in their potential and don't realize that you're actually hurting them. Sometimes you got to be patient. And no matter how much it hurts you to see them make those mistakes, and no matter how much you see them go through some pain themselves, you got to be patient in order to know, because whatever they're going through is so that they can receive whatever God has for them. It's not so that they can receive whatever mommy and daddy has for them, okay? They're His children first. And as parents, we could stop ourselves a whole lot of pain if we just learn that it's okay to let go and let God when it comes to our babies that we want to protect. All right. So you can be a good parent, but don't get blocked in the pain or feeling that somehow you failed or feeling that this child done lost their daggone mind. That should prevent you from becoming a better parent. This is not going to apply to everyone, but it applies to a lot of people. And that's why I am sharing it here today. Some people felt or didn't understand why I came on, and I didn't give y'all the full story. And I would never give you the full story about what was happening between my daughter and I, because it ain't none of your business. But I did feel that I needed to give you some of the story. And people like Miss Sheila King came to me, and other people came to me and said they were going through. So many people, not just with young children, but I mean, not just uh, young adults, but old adults that are children do. Okay. People were having issues. I'm like my child, 50 some years old, and I'm having a problem with her. Okay. All right. You are welcome. You are welcome, Jave. You are welcome. Um, we have to learn that when it comes to us going through pain and feeling that God is not here, and why ain't you fixing it, or or when it get fixed, why it take you so long to fix it, is because it's about His desire and His plan on how to show us glory. Okay, it's about His desire and His plan on how to show us glory. And we need to understand that sometimes rushing to make someone comfortable is not love at all. Sometimes you got to let them fall to see what's possible. Sometimes rushing to make someone comfortable is not love at all. Sometimes you got to let them fall to see what's comfortable. Not love. What we're doing is not loving them, but we're fearing what might happen with them. Okay? Um, but love, true love, is willing to wait so that you may see and so that they may see. You are able to watch them get stronger and you're able to watch them get confident. And in all of it, you are still there as a parent. When they need you, you are there the same way God is. He allows us to go through pain. He allows us to stumble, and He doesn't show up to a certain time in our eyes, but He's always there. He's always there. Okay? And we have to understand also, in this desire to be comfortable, this desire to be comfortable, a lot of times that's what allows the devil to trick us, okay? It allows him to trick us into thinking that he has something better for us because what he's offering to us is more comfortable, more fun. But what God is offering us sometimes causes us pain and causes us to hurt. You know, that's the whole thing. But he's never said that we're going to always be comfortable, right? But everything that he does, whether it's comfortable or painful, is all done to work for our good. And I'm telling you today, the pain and the lack of understanding that I've gone through since I did that last Facebook Live where I was so upset about how I had hurt her and feeling I needed to stand my ground and how she had hurt me. Mommy could take more pain. Mommy could take more pain, right? You know, I birthed you, I could take more pain, but I didn't want her to take the pain, right? In my lack of understanding, today, He's opened my eyes. I had no idea on her 23rd birthday to say, yes, you did do the best you can, but you can still do better. And today is the ending of that chapter of my pain and the beginning of me being even a better parent to not only Trinity, but Maurice as well. Okay? And understand that sometimes you got to let them fall in order to see who they are. Anywho, and that's why when I said, God is always there. And through the pain is also love. And that's why I was playing my song this morning that I started out with, which I don't understand all the words, but I like the hook, is the fact that basically love is forever. Love is forever. Love is through the good times, God's love. Love is through the good times. Love is through the bad times. Love is when you can't pay your bills. Love is when you lose a job. Love is when a relationship ends or continues and you have to go through some things to get to the strong point and you don't understand, God, why you got me going through this. Love is through sickness. Love is through death. Love is forever. Whether we understand it or not, when it comes to God, love is forever. Hey, love is forever. Love is forever. Love is forever. I hope that this has blessed somebody. I hope that this helps a parent out there that's not understanding what they're going through. Okay? Sheila King says, thank you for being obedient to share this message from God to us. This is my confirmation to let God handle it. Yes, let God handle it. Love is forever. Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy birthday again, my baby girl.